And then just have a seat.
Okay, today we have on Tia. Tia, tell us a little about yourself. How old are you? What else? What other information can I get out of you?
Okay, I'm Tia, but I go by Mylunny. I'm 20 years old.
You're 20, okay.
I'm 20. I'm turning 21 this year.
You go by what?
Mylunny.
Mylunny.
Yeah, that's what my Instagram is, Mylunny Keks. So it's my Hawaiian name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm born and raised here on Oahu, and I have a lot of different passions and hobbies. I model full-time, and I attend Chaminade University. Mm-hmm. I'm studying cellular and molecular biology and forensic science.
Sick.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And your background, you said you're full Hawaiian?
I'm not full Hawaiian.
What
I'm mixed, but I am Hawaiian.
What kind of other stuff are you mixed with?
Caucasian, Asian, American Indian.
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
Has to be the Asian in it.
Caucasian and a lot of European. That's like the Caucasian that I am. American Indian. I don't know if I said that already. Maori.
Maui?
Maori.
What is that?
Like the people from New Zealand.
Oh, sick.
And Tahitian.
Okay, everything.
Everything beneath the sun.
So you do social media. What exactly is your job? Modeling is your job too?
Yes.
Okay.
So I post a lot of my modeling jobs on my Instagram, but I've been starting to do brand endorsement. Mm-hmm. So I work a lot with people through social media, and also meeting people in person, and then we do like exchanges.
Like collabs?
Yeah, like collabs. Mm. We're a part of I'm currently a part of a content creator group.
Really? What is it?
Yeah. It's called Hawaii Creators Collective.
Oh, out here. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And are you single?
No, I'm not.
You're currently in a relationship?
Yes.
Yeah, I had to go through your Instagram. I was just like, I think there's a guy. I don't know if he's a part of her job or not.
It's a new...
Oh, it's a new one.
It's new. I was in a relationship, almost 3-year relationship.
How long ago?
We finally cut things off in January.
Reason? So you were in a relationship with him for 3 years, and the reason you got it was cut off?
It was very toxic. He was abusive, manipulating, liar. Exactly he cheated on me multiple times.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that a little later.
We'll talk about that. Okay. Actually, that was my next question.
Okay.
So was that your only boyfriend?
Yeah, that was my first real relationship. My mom was really strict when I was growing up. So I actually didn't start dating until I was in college. Yeah.
Aren't you in college now?
Yeah.
Wait, don't you go to college at like 19? 18?
I went to college when I was 17.
Wow. Smarty, huh?
Yeah.
Smart girl.
But I didn't start dating until after I was 18.
Okay. And he was what ethnicity?
He is similar to me, but he's like
Mix of
Hawaiian,
everything.
Samoan, Caucasian, Asian.
Okay. So tell me about that relationship, the details.
So we actually were really good friends
First.
from intermediate school. And our parents were like friends when they went to school. So it was kind of easy to get into that relationship. The only sucky thing was I didn't really know the type of person he really was. Mm-hmm. And it started like within the first 3 months of our relationship where it became controlling. Mm-hmm. Because I model, he wasn't comfortable with me modeling with other guys in like a couple shoot. But like, I get paid to do that. And at the end of the day, I'm your girlfriend and I'm loyal. And I've never cheated in my entire life.
Well, you're still young. You can't say that. Your life has
rather
still begun.
not think about it like that, though.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then when we got together, it was really new to me, everything about relationships. Mm-hmm. So I think I was really naive to see red flags. But once I saw red flags, I ignored them.
Like what?
So it started off like telling me what I could and could not do when it comes to my job.
Explain that a little more. Like what exactly? The couple scenes?
Yeah, couple scenes, and even in general. Like even if there was no guys there, he would like call me while I'm at work to see if there were guys there. And I had a shoot in February. We started dating in October of 2020. So right when things started opening up here, when COVID was happening. And that photo shoot in February, he definitely called, flipped out. And it was like for one of my friends that I met, and he's a musician, so we did a parody scene for one of his music videos. And I was with one of my guy friends that model, and he completely flipped out, saw the videos that I was reposting. But if I had something to hide, why would I post it?
Mm-hmm. Were you touchy or physical with the models?
Yeah, it was more like a hugging scene, and then like walking down the beach holding hands.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
ooh, that would trigger people though. I would get triggered. I would be mad jealous. What do you mean? I would be very jealous. The fuck. I thought you said hugging. I was like, okay, hugging is nothing.
When I was single, I did have a photo shoot with one of my closer guy model friends, and we had to kiss. It was a wedding shoot. Ooh. Now, those photos I still have. They're work photos, and I have a bunch of them. I literally have 2 terabytes of storage on my phone, and I keep all of my work. And he deleted a bunch of it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, and I'm like, but that was prior to you, like about 2 years prior.
Yeah, I mean that you came into that already having that.
Right.
That's a little strange.
Yeah, and it was very awkward. And then it was going to the gym. So I enjoy being healthy.
What gym do you go to?
24-hour fitness. Yep. And then we started going to I went to the gym before him by myself. And then I started going with him. And then it was what I was wearing to the gym. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that because I feel like all workout clothes is skin tight. What am I supposed to wear?
Can I post what you wear?
Yeah.
Like on the video?
Yeah.
Okay, like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was very strange to me. And then it was after that, I caught COVID and I ended up not going to the gym because I just didn't feel good after that. And I got super, super skinny. And then I felt like he began to like try to make me gain too much weight. And I did. Whoa. Like last year, I probably weighed my most and I was like 128. And I'm normally like 110, 115. And I could see it in myself and I was so unhappy. And I caught him cheating. A girl reached out to me and was like, hey, like your boyfriend.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, she was like, your boyfriend was saying that he doesn't have an Instagram, didn't have social media, and reached out to me through text message. And he was basically asking her for nudes. And she didn't live here. I've never caught him cheating on me in person with someone. But that's like, I never caught it. All these other things, like I'm really tech savvy, so I will figure it out if you're cheating on me through social media.
You think so?
Yeah. I caught him on Bumble.
No.
Tinder.
No.
Christian Mingle. I caught him on all of these different dating sites and all of these video chat apps. Right. And the moment of realization for me was last year, towards the middle. We actually moved out together, and I had a roommate also, but we lived together on our own. And you learn a lot about someone when you live with them.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And I learned so much. And I mean, before that, I was like living off and on with him at his parents' house. But I learned a lot more than I thought I would. And I caught him when we finally moved out of that place. We were there for not even a month. I had a bad falling out with that roommate. But when we moved out, I caught him on, I don't know if you know what this is, Omegle.
So, yeah, I know what it is, but what is it for?
He was on Omegle showing his junk.
Okay.
And finishing on Omegle.
Is it only for straight people?
There's everyone on there. There's
Wait, is
guys,
it like OnlyFans?
Girls. No, it's not.
It's just for jerking off?
Like, if we went on Omegle right now, we would just jump on and just start talking to strangers. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a video chat website that you just chat with strangers.
Around the world.
And then, like, you can put, like, common interests on there and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
So I caught him on that. And the reason why I caught him was actually because there was a camera in his room. And I put the camera in there because he thought someone was stealing from him. He was the dumbass that wanted the camera in his room. So he had someone living there. He didn't trust them. So he told me to put the camera in there because we weren't using it for anything anyways. And I had a dream. I don't know. I feel like I'm crazy every time I talk about this, but I was literally just talking about this the other day because I had another one of these moments. But my current boyfriend did not cheat on me. It was for some other reason. But I have like this hunch, and it's not my voice. It's a guy's voice.
Really?
And it's really strange because when I hear this voice, it tells me like exactly where to find something.
Really?
And it'll show me what I'm about to see.
What is it? Clairvoyant? Right?
Huh?
That's what they call it?
I call it a hunch because I feel weird talking about it.
Yeah, there's people like you who exist called clairvoyants. They're a form of psychics.
You're telling me I'm psychic?
Yeah, but it's not something that you know. It's just a gift that's been given to you from birth. They're called clairvoyants.
Wow, interesting.
Look into it. It's called clairvoyance. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not my voice though. It's like a guy's voice.
It's your whoever is watching you and giving you a gift. Yeah.
Wow. I always just thought it was God, but
You could say that, but that it's not necessarily God. Yeah.
okay. So it was like I was dreaming, but I saw everything that I was about to see. So it showed me on the camera. It showed me what time, what day to look. And I saw him.
Bro, that's trippy. Like on the dot?
On the dot.
Uh-huh.
There was a video footage, and then I just kept going through it, and I just saw him on, I thought it was FaceTime at first.
Right.
And then it was like Omegle, Bumble, video chat apps. And I was like, oh my God. So I went over. Oh, wait, going back a little bit more. When I found out that girl did all that stuff, I printed out all of her photos, all of the text messages she sent me, and I posted it all over his walls. Like, there's one thing about me. Once you push me to a certain point, I will become toxic. Mm-hmm. And I don't like to be that person. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to be loving and affectionate, but I do not want that other part of me to come out. Mm-hmm. And the person that I became when I was with him was somebody that I did not like. I despised myself when I was in that relationship. Mm-hmm. Well, now, going forward to what I'm talking about now, yeah, so I went over when that happened, and I was just like, why are you lying to me? Like, I just don't understand. What did I do to deserve this? Because I feel like I give so much of myself, and I get nothing back. Mm-hmm. He said, okay, I won't do it. I gave him another chance. There was like so many chances that I gave that I shouldn't have. I should have ended it the first time I found out anything was happening.
So you found out he was cheating, and you continued to be in a relationship with him?
I was broken up with him both times. When that girl texted me, I was done with him for like 3 weeks. Then this time was like 2 weeks. So I gave him another chance.
What was his excuse every single time he asked to come back?
Well,
he'll change or something?
He'll change, and that it was always my fault though. Like, it was my fault that I wasn't physically attracted to him in that sense. He always felt that I was like not physically attracted to him enough. And looking back at it now, that was probably correct.
You're not just saying it out of spite?
No, I truly think that I was not attracted to him like I was when we were first together.
Oh.
Once all that stuff started happening, I feel like a part of me just completely turned off.
Oh yeah, that's obvious.
So once
you're like, he's being a dick. Why would I?
Right. So like once more and more things started to happen, I was just over it. And the physical attraction was no longer there. He could feel it, so I guess that was his excuse. There wasn't enough physical affection, but
were you sleeping with each other enough during that time, or there was no sex involved?
No.
When he was cheating?
No.
No sex? Mm-mm. And who initiated that stop?
I just did it. I just didn't initiate it. I just didn't do it.
You didn't want to do it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And then moving forward, this was October of last year. Mm-hmm. But prior to that, though, throughout the 2 years before that, I was leaving his house every so often with black eyes, bloody noses, busted lip.
Black eyes. Oh, he was physically abusive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's kind of what started like that separation, was like first starting to control me, the mental and spiritual abuse. And he would always use the fact that he's religious against me, but you can't tell me that you're a Christian man and do everything that you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
So how much should I believe that? Zero.
Hypocrisy, yeah.
Yeah. And so when I started doing that, I had a going away party in November of 2021. I showed up to my party at my mom's house, where I live now, with 2 black eyes and no makeup on my face. And we were running late, so I didn't have time to cover it up. Mm-hmm. And
with him? Bro, he's tripping.
He showed up with me. And I had like my eyes under here were like pinkish blue. And I mean, the first person to realize was one of my aunties. And so she pulled me outside and she's like, I know that's not from like, you just randomly got a bloody nose. I understand like when you're a child that used to happen, but that hasn't happened in years. So like, tell me the truth. And I was like, we were playing around.
Yeah.
You know, like just like made so much excuses for him and it wasn't worth it, the end of it. Mm-hmm. And so that's when it really started to show. And then a really bad time was he punched me in my face so bad to the point where I bled out so much I was fainting in and out. Wow. And during one of the times that I was conscious, like when I was going in and out. I called my best friend. She just moved here. Before she left to move to Vegas, she was staying with me. So I called her and I was like, you have to grab me. I will not be able to drive. Like, I'm going in and out. I'm bleeding everywhere. Whoa. When I talk about like I was bleeding out, his entire carpet was like puddles of blood. His whole entire bed sheets, blood everywhere. Like, he had to throw away those blankets. And she came and grabbed me, and she was like so confused about what was happening. And then we had to grab another friend to grab my car and take it back to my house. And when we were taking her home, my best friend like described the situation like one of the scariest times that she was with me. Mm-hmm. I forgot where I was, and I was tripping out. I didn't even remember who she was. And so she was...
Concussion.
I didn't know that was what it was at the time, but was like one of the really, really bad incidents. And then moving forward to October of 2022, he slammed me into the metal bed frame, and then the back of my head hit the corner of his wooden dresser. And I knew that there was more than just like it hurt. There was more to it. Like, I lost my train of thought. I wasn't able to like comprehend certain things, and I had to get medical leave from school. So that's why I say like I'm still in school, but I'm on medical leave. So I go back in August, and that was October, and I only got treated I think last week of January of this year. Mm-hmm. That's the first time they could see me. And I found out that my skull and my spine are a little bit off the tracks from what happened. And we don't know the healing process or anything, but we have to do like, I've been in and out of the hospital since the last week of January. So roughly 4.5 months. And because of that, I feel like I became stronger through the time period of healing physically and emotionally. And before I got into this relationship, I took time for myself to like heal and be by myself and learn how to love myself again and get my physical self back to where I want it to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And it wasn't easy.
What was the time frame from you breaking up with him? Or how did the breakup initiate? Like, you broke up with him or he broke up?
I did. So we actually went on a trip December 2022. That was already planned, but I broke up with him before the trip. Okay. And then we got back together and we were like fighting the whole trip. I was unhappy, and I think I was taking it out on my parents because it was my parents' plan to go on this trip, and they added him on the trip because they knew that kind of where I was, I wouldn't want to leave without him. Mm-hmm. And I think that was probably because of the manipulation and control that he had over me. I would feel like I couldn't enjoy myself somewhere else if he wasn't there. But I couldn't enjoy myself even if he was there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, when we were on that trip, we got into a lot of fights. Like, I literally broke down in Disneyland, which is supposed to be the happiest place on earth. And I was just so... So when we got back, his birthday's in December, the last day of December, or the 30th of December. And after his birthday, we spent New Year's together, and then I caught him cheating again. So that was the last straw for me. And I just broke it off. And then, you know, here and there would be moments where I would see him again. And then I cut that off in January, same month. And then we have a dog together, but...
Oh, that always sucks. It makes it harder.
Yeah. So I was letting him see him up until last month. And my boyfriend now is super supportive of anything that I do, but I knew that it made him uncomfortable.
You made your new boyfriend uncomfortable?
I knew that it made him uncomfortable. Of him boyfriend? Yeah, him seeing Coco. And I understood it because we still had to see each other when I dropped him off or he picked him up. And it was getting weird to the point where my ex would be like buying me things that were like expensive things because he thinks that because that's how my mom shows her affection, that's how I receive love, which is gift giving. But that's not really. That's just how my mom shows her love.
So your ex-boyfriend
was buying me things
while you were in a relationship with a new guy?
Prior to actually getting into a relationship with the boyfriend now, he was doing that. And then when
get you back. Okay. I got
you. And then because me and my boyfriend now also have been friends for a while from high school.
So usually your relationships start with friendship.
Yeah.
What your ex-boyfriend's past, what was it? Why is he so? You think he was like, you know how people when they cheat, they get it in their head that this is how all people cheat. You know, people are. Mm-hmm. So that's why he was calling you all the time during your shoots. Is that why you think he was doing that? Because I know a lot of people do that. They cheat and they're like, oh, this bitch is also cheating on me, probably.
He definitely said that he got cheated on in the past. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. They probably cheated on him back. Because when I knew him when we were going into high school, he was like the boy that was cocky. Ah. Like he thought that he was the tantara and the shit, and he wasn't, you know? But I think it's because of his parents' relationship, because they're not together. And there was some...
that shit fucks you up.
Yeah. But like, my parents divorced when I was young.
And it never left a scar on you?
Oh, it does, but it's what you let affect you.
Yeah. Because
your main trigger is the bottom of your brain, which is the brainstem, and the top of your brain is the cortex. The cortex is the hardest part to get through when you go through trauma. So I feel like I'm there. I've healed from it. Mm-hmm. And even though like me and my dad's relationship aren't the greatest, me and my mom's relationship just started getting good. I feel like what they went through, of course it traumatized me, because it was abusive too. But now I am able to relate to my mom and understand what pain she went through.
Yeah. So your dad cheated on your mom?
Yeah, and abused her.
Ooh.
So
hopefully you don't have a hard life, but usually children from divorced parents like that end up in the pattern that you've already experienced with your boyfriend.
And that's what I'm trying to break, is that pattern, and find someone that's good for me.
And you think your new boyfriend is different?
Yes.
Explain that.
He's very, very... I wouldn't use the word pushover.
But you would love to.
But he's very sweet, and it takes a lot to push his buttons, and I've tried.
How old is he?
21.
21, okay.
And he also went through a rough relationship too.
Is that the guy you post? Or that's someone else?
No, that's him.
Handsome dude.
Thank you. Yeah. And I feel like in every aspect he's better and more of a positive person in my life to have. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's so new that it could be the honeymoon stage. But
wait, how long have you been dating?
We just made a month. Like,
still the honeymoon phase, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we were like talking before that and like getting to know each other again.
Right.
Because he moved away. He moved to Vegas for like a year or two. So we didn't speak during that time.
So your only two ever relationships are this and the previous. Mm-hmm. Any flings in between?
Oh yeah.
So there was flings between the ex and the new one?
Yep.
Okay, tell me about those. You're not into flings or like whatever?
I've learned I cannot.
Why?
Because I decided to do it with a best friend from high school.
Ooh, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
A girl or a guy?
A guy.
Oh, okay.
And it just didn't, it became obsessive.
He became obsessive with you?
Yeah. And it was like not even 2 weeks.
Did you sleep with him? Okay. So he became obsessive after 2 weeks. Well, you know how guys are, right? Like we fall faster than girls. Girls take time to develop the feelings. Guys were just like, oh, she looks attractive. I'm into her. That's how we are.
But when you asked if we slept together, I didn't want to. Does that make sense? It was after he already became obsessive. And I didn't want to.
Pity. What do you mean?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay, explain.
Would I use the word rape? Probably not, but
it wasn't mutual.
Yeah. So it was more forceful.
Ooh, interesting. But there's a thin line, don't you think, between
yeah, but like
agreeing versus like
I would rather believe that he wasn't trying to do that, because I cared about him so much. I didn't want to believe that was happening. Right. But after that, I cut it off. Because like that night, I just blocked him on everything. Because I couldn't.
What the fuck?
Because I didn't want it. And when I got home, I cried. Like.
It sounds like you really didn't want it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's strange.
Yeah.
So you lost
your best friend. So would that be a rebound before that happened?
Well, let me ask you this. Why did you even entertain the idea of going out with that person?
I didn't go out. We were like really, really good friends in high school. Like he was my best guy friend. And I was going over. We were just after I broke up with my ex, I
Right.
was rekindling all of my friendships that I lost.
Oh, because of the
So I was
ex.
like, oh yeah, let's hang out. Like we can go out or something. He was like, oh yeah, well I just got home from work. Like if you want to come over, we could just chit chat, talk about catch up and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then that was like 1 week of like talking here and there, making out maybe, but it wasn't like, I even told him, he was like, what, do you ever see a relationship with me? And I was like, no,
Really?
never. And I'm not physically attracted to this guy, nor emotionally. We're
Wait, so
completely different
you're
people.
young, so explain this to me. How are you? How is it that you can make out with someone but not be physically attracted to them, or is it just like, fuck it, I was bored? Is that what it is? Really?
Also, it was like a rebound.
So anyone, okay. So anyone.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
yeah.
Okay, fuck that fling. Let's talk about a fling you actually that's memorable. A
Like
memorable
in high
fling.
school?
No,
I
no,
mean,
like, oh, you have high school flings. Okay, let's talk
yeah,
about them.
well, I had one that was memorable, but that also became abusive.
Abusive.
Yeah. So he was a really handsome guy. He was older than me a lot. I think I was in my junior year and he was like 19. And my mom found out about this. She was not happy. He ended up threatening my family. But before that, it was like kind of fun when it was what it was. Like he would drop off flowers to me at school, food, Starbucks. Like those things were like cute, but then it just got so bad. I don't really have like a positive link.
You don't have
So I
positive-
think I
good.
will
I mean,
not-
like most flings, and that's why they're negative.
Yeah. So I
Well,
don't think I will. I can't.
I'm more interested in the flings in between the boyfriends.
Did I have? I
Bad dates. If you got on bad.
I did go
Yeah,
on a
let's
date.
talk about that.
Okay, so I went on a date with a family friend. My parents like absolutely wanted it to work.
Like a blind date.
No, I had a crush on this guy before, like from when we were little kids. But like, it was good and all, but we went on 1 date, 2 dates. I can't really remember. I kind of try to block that period of my life out. But we did like things together. We went on hikes together, went out to eat. And it was good when it was good, but when it was bad, it was bad. Like we got into a fight first week. And I was
Over
like,
what?
oh my God, I cannot. Like I thought that could have been a boyfriend. And then it quickly just made me realize that we're not emotionally compatible. But like my mom always says, like aesthetically, we work together.
That doesn't always
But
mix.
it doesn't mix because when I try to dig for emotional connection, like I think I'm the type of person that needs more to like give you back.
Okay. Wait, say that again. To give you back.
Like for me to give them something, I need to feel like you're all in with me before I give. And I think that's kind of where the trauma from my parents come from. Like I need to know that you're all about me before I even get about you.
That you'll stay, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Abandonment issues.
Abandonment,
I think that's
100%, yeah,
probably
that's
what
what
I
it is.
got from that. But from seeing the cheating and the abuse, I don't want that.
Right.
So there's like a learning curve there. But
Mm-hmm.
where it comes like abandonment is because my dad was in and out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And for a male presence to be in and out of my life, I think that kind of ruined how I perceive men.
Yeah.
So, but I'm trying to break that boundary that I have. But I think it's also a good one because even with like friends, if I feel that, I won't talk to you as much.
Really.
Yeah. So I've only ever kept 2 of my best friends since like school. Like, you know,
I mean, that's good.
grade
You're
school.
progressing.
Yeah.
The older you get, the less friends you actually
Right.
have. So.
I have like one really, really close best friend. That's the one that saved me during that abuse. And then one other best friend that we kind of talk about things, but it's a different type of friendship. Like it's 2 different friendships with the both of them. So like one I tell everything to, and the other I'm like kind of like pickier with what I say. I think I learned a lot about that you can have different friendships.
Yeah, there's different personalities.
Yeah.
So that's the only bad date you've been on?
No, it wasn't even on the date. Have I been on a bad date?
Yeah, bad date.
I would have to say that it was in my relationship, my last relationship, that I had a bad date.
With him originally?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was just really awkward.
Oh. Like in the beginning?
Yeah.
Huh. I never understand why people like. I had a girl on this podcast. She's like, this guy was super nervous, sweaty the entire time. I'm like, how did he even have the courage to ask you out in the first place? I'm like, why would you even go then? What the fuck? More personal. You don't have an OnlyFans, do you?
No.
Okay, that was a little different side note. How long do you usually go out with the guy before you get intimate with them? Like, is there a waiting period?
Well, the only other guy I've ever slept with was my ex.
Wait, what?
That's my first, and that took a while because that was my
Wait,
first.
so your body count is 3? Wait, what? You said you had a fling.
The one
the
that
first one?
No. It's 2. It's my 2 boyfriends.
Oh, but the other one doesn't count.
Yeah, because I didn't want it to happen.
Wow, you're such a good girl. People are gonna love you on this podcast. I was like trying to count. I was like, oh my god, what a little body.
2, but that guy best friend is no longer a best friend. I don't want to talk to him ever again. That was, yeah.
You are so cute. Body count. All right. I mean, like shit. Now I have to raise half these questions.
Just ask them.
I mean, like I don't know if you're gonna be able to answer them. Like one of them is a bad sex story. Like, I don't fucking know. Okay, let's.
Well, I already told you that.
Yeah.
story,
You're right.
so.
You're right. Okay, here I'll ask this one. What's a cringy secret that you kept from your ex-boyfriend?
What do you mean by cringy?
I don't know, something like. Well, like okay, one girl obviously doesn't apply to you. Some girls like, I lied about how many bodies I had in the past.
Okay.
And obviously this doesn't apply to you, but
Yeah.
she's like that, a sexual secret. You know, it doesn't have to be sexual, but like a cringy secret that you kept from your ex-boyfriend.
I don't know.
Like anything you never ended up telling them that you kept. You're like, I don't want to tell them. No, nothing.
I'm an open book in a relationship.
Really?
I'll tell you everything and anything you want to know. I even told him about the guy that was in between of them. When I saw him to drop off my dog, and he was asking why I like was not myself, I told him.
Oh.
And he wanted to beat him up, but he never found out who it was. So I guess that's the secret.
But now he knows because it's posted, right? But now you haven't blocked, probably, right? Your ex?
My ex,
Yeah.
he's blocked on everything, yeah. But no, I never told him the guy that did that to me, the fling in between.
Oh.
I never told him his name, so I guess that's the secret. But it's for a good reason. I just do not need any more negative drama in my life. Like I'm trying to be about my peace. Okay. And I learned that when I left him. Like I was about my healing in all aspects.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever like? I mean, you were gonna say probably no. Like you've never like thought about cheating on your ex, but have you ever flirted with someone intentionally? There goes the smile.
Yes.
Was
but
it during
I feel
the photo
like
shoot?
no, because my personality is super flirtatious. Like I'm just a lover.
Okay.
So like anytime I would talk to somebody, he's like, "You're flirting with them," and I'm like, "How?"
But were you actually ever? I know you're flirting.
Like intentionally.
Yes, on a given day that you found this guy attractive, and you're like, "Fuck, you know what? Go ahead."
I was at one of my fashion shows that I had to do. It was a swim show, and I definitely flirted with one of the guys that were there, and I don't even know why because I didn't even think he was cute.
Oh, really?
I was just bored, and also we were breaking up during that time too.
Oh, so yeah, I guess that doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
That's already like open space.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant like while you were like hardcore in love type of thing.
No. When I'm about one person, I'm about one person. I follow guys, but it's not like I'm doing it.
You follow guys?
Yeah, I follow guys on Instagram.
Why? Like because they're attractive?
Friends. No, they're friends or we work together.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's different.
Okay. Then I don't follow guys just for the fun of it.
No, I thought you meant you follow guys like how guys follow girls. Oh, she has a fat ass. Like,
Oh,
you don't follow.
no. How would you do that for a guy?
I mean, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I was like that. That's what I thought you said when you said.
I
that.
definitely may have when there was like tension between me and my ex, like when he would do that stuff. The guy that I'm with now, I definitely swiped those hard eyes on top of his stories.
Yeah, you know what they say, like before a girl breaks up, she already secured. Yeah, she already secured the next bag. She leaves her little breadcrumbs.
I guess I had a few bags in there.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Okay, let's talk about red flags.
Yeah.
What kind of red flags do you get off men?
Well, because of my abandonment issues, I feel like I can tell if a guy's distant.
What do you mean distant?
Like, for example, the guy that I was going on dates with prior to this boyfriend, like, he wasn't emotionally available. Like, if I would, like, try to talk to him about something, it was like he didn't want to talk about it.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And then I would, like, try to talk to him about, like, my pain. And he'd be like, why do I want to know about that?
Oh, I see.
That's disgusting. Please get away from me.
Right.
I like to talk about it because the more you talk about it, the more you heal from it.
Right.
So if you don't want me to be, I'm a very much, like I say, I'm an open book, especially in relationships. So if I can't talk about what I went through, and for you to either sympathize or empathize with me, you can't hang.
Can I give you some advice? You're talking about it in the wrong aspect. You're talking about it negatively. You want it to heal, you have to say it's in a positive way. You say, my illness is healing. My suffering is ending. You have to say, these are positive affirmations. You keep saying things that are negative. They're going to continue staying negative if you keep putting that in your head.
Well,
so try to look at it.
It's also like they were asking why I was that way. Like, why
That's
are
okay.
why
That's
are
a
you
story.
being distant? Well, it's because of this. Why do you not, like, why are you more distant from me? And I'll be like, well, because I just went through all of this. And then they'd be like, why would I want to know that? You just asked about it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to have a conversation about it.
Bitch.
And also, it just happened. Like, I just broke up with him. And that's why I think, like, that 3-month rule. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what is it?
So I just learned about it, like, a few weeks ago. 3-month rule post-breakup. So you're supposed to give yourself 3 months to heal and be by yourself and allow the other person to heal and not see you with somebody else so early. That's where I messed up. Because once I broke things off for good, like nothing was happening, I went on a date the next month.
Yeah, it's too early.
So I think that I was still very much wounded and not healed.
Because you get to learn more about yourself in that 3 months.
Yeah.
I always tell women all the time, because I don't know why you guys love to jump on the next thing. And then guess what? That rebound becomes a relationship.
That's what I think about guys.
What?
That's what I think
You
about guys.
Guys have no options. What are you talking about?
I'm done.
What the fuck?
I'm done.
We don't jump to shit, man.
Okay.
You guys have
My ex got into a relationship the same time I got into this relationship. The same time. He saw me in a relationship.
Maybe he already put the breadcrumbs there too, man. But generally speaking, guys that just ended a relationship, they're like, yo, I got nothing. We don't leave no fucking breadcrumbs. Okay, what are the red flags that you get off men?
Superficial people.
Explain that. You're in a modeling world. All you meet is superficial people.
Not true.
Really?
Not true.
Okay.
I meet a lot of big-hearted, good people in modeling, and I think that's just a stereotype.
Okay, let me break your glass. How do you know they're not just acting like that because you're attractive?
Well, I'm also talking about the women too. Like the people that I
yeah,
meet.
girls get along with girls though.
How can you act to be less superficial though? I feel like I can read people very well.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, yeah, you have that gift, right? So you can see through people.
But that's like when I'm in a relationship. But
I'm sure your powers aren't limited to that.
I'm
sure
know,
you get
that's
vibes.
That's all I've ever experienced.
So models are not superficial, most of them?
I have to say, like, sure, when you look at it, the bigger picture of things, they're superficial in the sense that, okay, all they care about is how they look. But I meet so many good-hearted people, like, good couple models, and you can tell that they're, like, good, genuine people. Also, like, the people that are designing for what the models are wearing, I feel like they have a lot of layers, and people are just not giving them the time of day to prove that they're not superficial. But when I'm talking about, like, for guys dating wise, I feel like they're only looking for like a one night stand.
Yes.
And not me.
Okay, let me ask you something, and it's a little bit rude.
Okay.
But you're in the field, so I want to ask. I know it's a touchy subject, not to you, but like
in general.
Fat models.
Okay, what about it?
I don't get it. You go to the gym. Why are you laughing? No, I'm being serious right now, man.
I'm trying my best to stay on the fence about this topic. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you don't have to even say anything.
No,
just blink.
Go ahead.
So you put in the work, right? You go to the gym. You do your makeup. You do all that stuff, right? They're getting a line of credit for doing none of that. Why is that fair? And they're getting attention for it.
I think it's just a turning point for the people that are born that way. Like, I understand some people are bigger boned, their structures are different, and there should be representation. But when it becomes that we're embracing eating disorders and not taking care of your body, I feel like it's not fair.
That's what I'm saying.
But if that's just how you were born, then I understand. And I get that everybody wants representation. But we should be, yes, it's 100% accurate that we were doing that in the modeling industry all these years. Just, advertising that you should starve yourself and be anorexic. And I don't think that's okay. Because, I don't feel like I look anorexic. I feel like I look like a normal person. Mm-hmm. But I'm also on the shorter side. So I feel like height-wise, there should be more representation. Ethnically wise, I think there should be representation. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we should be advertising unhealthy habits.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Both ways. I don't think there should be super, super skinny models. And I don't think that there should be models that do not take care of themselves. Yeah. I think that it should be a healthy thing so that we advertise health.
I agree. I want to give credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. You put in the effort. You look good in the bikini suit. Well, you probably worked your ass off at the gym. Mm-hmm. But if you put it on and you're like, yo, Forbes magazine said I was good enough. No, they're just trying to be inclusive. That doesn't mean you're good enough. Like all these people.
I get the inclusivity though. I do get it, but
we're just trying to not upset people's feelings lately. That's just all it is. Advertise health, yes. Advertise health.
And everybody's health looks different, and it's okay even if you're healthy, you're on the thicker side, because there are people that are like that. I have people in my family that are like that too, and I understand that. But we shouldn't be not being about health. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about red flags for guys? I'm sorry, for girls. Sorry, I meant for girls. What red flags do you actually have?
Have you ever heard about that thing where if a girl posts a lot of selfies, she's not happy in her relationship or in her life?
All the time.
Okay, that's 100% a red flag.
What's a red flag? That she posts or
the posts, the over obsessive posts. Like if you're not posting about something, like for me when I post my selfies, it's always brand endorsements. If there's something on my face, like my lashes or my necklace or the makeup that I'm wearing, other than that, I don't post all that much selfies. Mm-hmm. Like I'll post once in a while if it's just like about me and not anything else that I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. But I've noticed that when I see like right before a breakup and I see a girl like spamming selfies for no reason.
So you think it's true they post more when they're about to break up?
I think guys do too. Guys post shirtless photos.
All that.
Yeah. Or something that they're like very confident in on their social media before breakup. Because they're also doing the same. You think that it's only like girls that are
No, I don't.
Trying to move on faster. It's also the guys. They're doing it before they break up.
Right.
So at that point, like, it's like, just tie those loose ends and be done.
Okay. Let's talk about double standards.
Okay.
So, first, do you believe in gender roles?
What is that?
Like, a girl has to behave like this, a guy has to behave like that.
Do I believe in it?
Like, no, do you think that it's right, that it should be like that?
No.
Okay, explain yourself.
I love an emotional guy. I love a guy that's in tune with his emotions that can communicate it well.
Okay, a crybaby. No.
Okay, no, my ex was a crybaby, though.
Okay.
He was. And I think that's what kind of pulled me in the first place, was that he was so open about talking about his emotions. Mm-hmm. But I think there's a fine line between being able to communicate that and just whining about everything. Because he was a whiner. Oh my God, my life is so shitty. Like, okay, and?
But you say you like these kind of guys, emotional.
But not if you're complaining about it. Like, if you're talking about it and you're being in, like, you're one with your emotions, that's different than being a crybaby about everything.
Do you like guys who cry in general?
I don't think it's wrong for a guy to cry. But am I okay with them crying all the time? Probably not. I'm not okay with myself crying in general.
Why? You think it shows weakness?
Yep. I was raised by my mom, and my mom is very much, tough. I feel like, a dude. I think my mom should have been a guy. Mm-hmm. So the way that I process my emotions are very similar to hers.
Okay. So you say you don't believe in gender roles, but if you go on a date with a guy, don't you want him to pay?
I've paid before.
That's weird. You've paid before? Who?
I'm about my independence. And
see,
if
they let you pay. No, I mean like fresh off, not you're dating already. You know what I mean? Like, you're going on the initial first date. Like, I understand if you're in a relationship, sometimes you're like, baby, I got the ice cream. Like, all right, cool. I'll let you pay for the ice cream, whatever. But, like, in the first few dates, you never paid, right?
With my ex, I did.
In the first few dates?
We went on one date.
And he let you pay?
We went on one date. He paid. I didn't eat. on our first date. That's why I thought it was awkward.
Why didn't you eat?
Because I ate before I left. And I didn't think that we were going to eat. I was just thinking, okay, I'm going to get my nails done.
Wait, what? So
the date was I was going to get my nails done, and then I didn't know what we were going to do after that.
Oh.
So he decided to go to the restaurant, but I already ate. So I didn't eat. Mm-hmm. So he just paid for his own food.
Oh, well,
That was our first, that's what I said.
Oh, I guess that doesn't count, yeah.
And then a few dates in, I started paying for everything.
That's weird. Well, he was poor?
He didn't. So he was working at a family business. The family business closed down during COVID. And then he didn't work. And then I was trying to convince him to get a job. That's another red flag. Like, bro, if you don't have a job, what are you doing? If you don't have goals, what are you doing? That's like one thing.
You do realize you're talking to yourself, right? Huh? You should have been seeing these as red flags if a guy doesn't have a job.
That's what we're talking about. Like when you're talking about like what's red flags in a guy. Like I'm just thinking about.
Yeah, but why do you girls always give these guys chances? You know how many times I've heard this from girls? They're like, "Oh, my ex-boyfriend didn't have a job." I'm like, and that didn't occur to you to not stay with him.
Okay, well if he doesn't have goals, I have so much standards now. I feel like I've
ambitious
changed and
men.
grew. Yes,
ambitious men.
Yes, if you're not trying to make money or want a happier future. If you're not going to provide for a family in the future, if you're not going to provide for, I think it's providing enough to the point where you can provide on your own if something were to happen to me, vice versa. Like that's why I have so many different goals that I'm going to do at the same time. Because what if something happened to you? What if we do not work out? How am I going to provide for my family?
Agreed. You had points you wanted to ask me or something?
No.
Oh, I think
these are just things that like I wanted to talk off of when you like. I kind of had some kind of
train of thought.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to go back to this real quick. That point where you said you're very loyal. Like I said, you're still very young. Now, even though you were in a relationship and you said like, oh, I was on a beach doing a holding scene, right, with another guy. You have to understand that this is the same story I hear when people tell me like, do you know what happened with Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston? You know who those are?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was doing a movie with Angelina Jolie while he was married to Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
And they were doing scenes like loving and like, oh, I'm a family man, I have kids, and they were holding. And guess what ended up happening? He cheated, yeah. So when I'm not agreeing with shit that he said in terms of like violence and hitting you, but he was fair in terms of like you holding some other guy's hand, you know, because you guys get emotionally involved faster. Guys are just, what do? We just look and we're like, oh, she's hot, I want to sleep with her. That's it. There's not much brain cells going on. Yeah. You girls get attached with emotions and shit like that, you know? So that's what he was concerned about. Do you understand what I'm saying in terms of like the cheating aspect?
Yeah, that guy was like about 18 years older than me. I did not.
18 years old.
There was no.
Was he hot though?
No. I think I had a type.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I was supposed to ask you. What was your type?
I think...
You just kept talking and I was like, I lost like 7 questions right away. What is your type?
Conversations are just too good. My type, I would say like local boys.
Hawaiian?
Yeah. Okay. But respectable, well-spoken local boys.
Ooh, that's hard to find. They're not that
But
educated.
I found them.
You found them, right.
I mean, my ex was a well-spoken local boy. But the respectable part... not there. The one I have now is very respectable.
Let's talk about him. Tell me about him a little bit. So, you basically wear the pants in the relationship is what I'm getting?
No. I would just say that he's like a pushover in the things that I do. Like, he won't say it bothers him unless it gets to a point of like, okay, now it's going too far. Like, he's very like, I'm just going to see what happens. Like, for example, me taking my dog to my ex, he didn't say that it bothered him at all.
Yeah,
but it did.
Of course it does.
And he wouldn't say anything. And to the point of me realizing it for myself that it was no longer good for me. Because every time I would go there, he would say some weird
shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, bruh, I broke up with you for a reason.
Right.
And now it's just getting weird. Or controlling. Even like, he would be like, oh, now you have a new boyfriend? Oh, do you want to hook up? Like, what? I'm not trying to cheat on my boyfriend.
Right.
Like, I think you know that more than anybody else. I do not do that. Even if you are beating me, cheating on me, lying to me, manipulating me, and all of the above, like wouldn't do that. So, yeah, but I think he wears the pants of the relationship. Every morning I wake up, he writes me love notes.
That's cute.
Yeah. He takes care of like anything that I want, anything that I need. He drives me everywhere because there's one thing about me. I'd rather be a passenger princess than a driver.
Really?
Yeah, I hate driving.
Why, are you bad at it?
I'm great at driving.
Why
I think I drive like a guy.
Oh.
So I
Fuck
think
you.
exactly. I have bad road rage, but yeah. So he'll like drive me all the way on the other side of the island if I need to do something. Like the little things matter, and I think like initially I didn't think we were gonna do anything for our 1 month. We had a photo shoot, and I don't expect.
Oh, that was a
When
relationship photo shoot?
No.
Oh, I did the wait.
So I just posted a picture of me and him with matching shirts on.
Mm-hmm.
That was just for brand endorsement and photo shoot for the company. It's a kava company. Mm-hmm. But like he drove there. I was like, great. Then like after he kept asking me what I wanted to do, and I was like, what do you mean, what do I want to do? He's like, well, I think we should do something. And I was like, why? Because that's never happened for me. Like I would always have to be the one to plan. Mm-hmm. And to figure things out. And I didn't want to do that this relationship. And I wanted to see if I could find someone that could do that for me. Mm-hmm. Because it's so much effort that I'm putting in that I wasn't it wasn't being reciprocated.
Right.
So for him to do that was like a moment that made me realize that he's different than my ex. Mm-hmm. And he went above and beyond. I didn't even know I went to work one day and he was like, oh, I'll watch your dog. Mm-hmm. And so they went on like a whole freaking adventure that day, and they went shopping for me, and I didn't even know that was happening. And so he got me a bunch of gifts and stuff like that. Like my love language, I wouldn't say is gift receiving, it's gift giving. I give gifts. I do not like to receive them, but it's different. In this relationship, I'm learning so much about myself that I didn't think I was okay with.
Like what?
I'm not a very physical person. Yeah, I don't like PDA at all. Mm-hmm. I'm very much to myself, and that's probably because I was also hiding things from my mom when I was growing up. But I've taken that into my adulthood.
Yeah, you carry
it.
You always think
I'm like,
somebody's watching.
Can you not touch me? So like going into this relationship, it's really weird, and I'll say stuff, but I don't mean it like ill. Why are we doing this in public? Right. And then also like receiving gifts, like I actually received it. Normally I'm like, return it. But it's not that I'm not happy that you got it for me or grateful. It's just I don't know how to receive things from other people if it's not my family.
Yeah, it makes you feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like, oh, I'm obligated now for something.
Yeah. And then like I've never had to pay for a date ever. And I've always had to do that in my last relationship. So there's like a change of pace for me in a relationship. I think he's, like I said, like a positive person to have in my life.
You said when you broke up with your ex, he wasn't the only contender also. Who were the other contenders?
The first guy that I went on a date with a month later after I broke up with
Who else?
There was a guy that lived in Tahiti.
Tahiti?
Yeah, and I thought he was like the most beautiful person in the world. And I met him when I was, I took French and Spanish in school, and we had like a day where they came. And I was like very much thought this guy was so beautiful. But I've learned that the language barrier, I don't know what it was, but I got very much friend vibes.
From him, or he gave you?
Both.
Put you, okay.
Like I was trying to, and then it was just like friend vibes right away.
Yeah. If they don't speak your language, it's very hard.
Yeah.
It's like he always sounds like an idiot.
He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I asked you a question.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Was there any other contenders? There was a few other guys that were like hitting on me when they found out that I was single, because I kept things under wraps until Valentine's Day.
And then
I was like, anti-Valentine's Day shoot. Because I had that like the day before Valentine's, but I didn't really say much. And then I kind of opened up a little bit, but I've never actually told anybody what happened in that relationship. So I guess I'm going to take a clip from this podcast and post it.
Fuck it.
I'm over it. It's time to like, allow
set
that.
It free.
Yeah, air that out a little bit.
Do you get hit on DM-wise also?
Yes.
How often?
Every day.
Every day?
I didn't see your DM because it was just stacked up on. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Like every once in a while, like every maybe twice a year, I'll go through my requests. And then I'm like, wait, somebody asked to do a shoot. Somebody asked to do this. Somebody asked to do that. It gets hidden from all these.
Yeah, I have primary requests in general and all that.
Yeah, no, I have primary, general. And then in my requests, I have all messages, top messages, and subscribers. Yeah.
So tell me some weird DMs you got. I'm talking about the like flirty ones.
No, it gets weird up in here. I have a few that I think is hilarious. I can't. I think I have screenshots.
Of course you can.
No, I can't because my boyfriend deleted it. Because we definitely were at game night and I was laughing at one of them and he was like, why do you still have those? And I'm like,
well, tell me about them then.
I definitely have a picture somewhere. Because I definitely screenshotted these and I thought it was hilarious. One of them are really weird. Like, let's just look through this, see if I can find some other weird ones. Mm-hmm. I always get fire emojis on every story that I post. But there's like some that are like, there was this one guy that would have full-on conversations with himself and talk to me about dolphins, football games, basketball games, baseball games. And it was just repetitive. And then he would like say something like, he'll send me songs that are about my name. Like there's a local song here that's called Tia and it's by Ikolu. And he would send it to me repeatedly on this DM. And I just thought to myself, is he showing this to someone thinking that he's having a conversation with me? That's weird. Let's see. I had one that was actually a really good pickup line. Mm-hmm. And it was like permission to land in your DMs. And it had a parachute guy.
That's cute. Yeah.
But did I respond? No.
I'm going to steal that shit.
You're welcome. But that was look, permission to land in your messages.
That's pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, miss. You seem like trouble.
Let's play it out. Shit, I wrote that myself.
Also, it gets weird because I model. People will ask to shoot, and then things will get weird, and then those cancel.
Yo, I heard some shit. Somebody got fired out here for that, right? Wait.
There was a
Are you allowed to discuss that, or are you getting in trouble too?
Nah, I kind of know some stories about it, and I've experienced some things, but I definitely know about one photographer that was using, like, telling younger girls to take off their clothes.
Yeah, dude, I've seen it.
Yeah, like then he would post it without their permission, or he would keep it and do weird shit with it.
Yeah, one of the girls on my podcast, like, I randomly saw in my not stories, like the search, whatever. It just popped up on, and I saw a picture of her, and she was naked. I was like, and it's not on her, like, it's from the same person who took the pictures. She posted one picture where she was clothed, but he posted a naked picture of her. I was like, she clearly didn't want to post that. I'm like, how did you even convince her to do that?
Also, like, if you're doing collaborations, there's no paperwork that you fill out that you're giving them consent to post your face.
Yeah. I mean, there's no paperwork for this either, right? So, like, most things, there's no paperwork.
Yeah. So. But, I mean, I don't care. You have my permission.
I appreciate that.
Consensual.
Got you. All right, last question for you. How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
Can I leave now? Can I leave now?
Speak the truth.
Can I leave now, please? This is making me uncomfortable.
Go.
Andrew Tate can suck it.
Andrew Tate could suck it?
Okay, there's one thing about me that I've learned from that relationship is that I do not like Andrew Tate. My ex was obsessed with Andrew Tate.
You know, most guys do.
To the point where, let me show you. I know exactly how he sits because of this guy.
Oh.
Okay?
Wow.
I think that he can be speaking the truth sometimes.
Sometimes
he definitely can speak the truth.
You know, Andrew Tate is against violence of women, right? He doesn't hit women.
Okay, we love him for that. But there's some things that he says that are kind of misogynistic.
Let's talk about it.
But a lot of the things that the things I would hear him say, I agreed with. But I think that I just cannot support him because I think he puts a facade on. I think he's actually a really good person. Mm-hmm. But the facade that he puts on social media is bullshit. Yeah. I think he has a big heart. Mm-hmm. But what he puts out on social media kind of messes with younger guys' heads like my ex.
Yeah.
And he kind of took over that personality that he puts on social media. And that's where things got really, really messy.
Right.
So from personal experience, I don't like him.
Right.
But I think him as a person, if I were to meet him and he didn't have that facade on, I think he would be a good
Yeah, you probably
Yeah.
fuck with him.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, with that being said, we want to thank Tia for coming on. You did great. Really fucking awesome podcast.